Hello, and welcome to this problem 675 cutoff trees for a golf event. Right, so this is another one of those BFS problems. You would feel that I like to solve a lot of BFS problems, but I mean they creep up so often. Graph theory is a very universal language of how math and computer science is done, and things like BFS and DFS creep up so often. So that's why this is another one of those tree problems. Not because there is a tree here, but there is you need to implement a tree. So let's look at the question. So you asked to cut off trees in a forest for a golf event. The forest is represented as a non-negative 2D map in this map. So basically, there is this forest which is a non-negative 2D map, and basically this is a very important keyword: non-negative 2D map, right? So it is not said that it is squared, right? So it is an M cross N map, right? It's a 2D matrix where 0 represents the obstacle which cannot be reached, 1 represents the ground that can be walked through, and the place with number bigger than 1 represents a tree, and can be walked through the positive number represents the tree's height, right? And this is the positive. So basically it's like these are all these trees, 0 0, so we cannot walk through them. All of these things like 2 3 4 5 6, all of them are like trees, and the height of the tree is represented by the number they have, right? So what do we have to do here? In one stop you can walk in all the four directions: top, bottom, left, and right. We're standing in a point in which you can decide, basically at a point you to decide whether you want to cut a tree or you don't want to cut a tree, right? And you asked to cut off all the trees in this forest in the order of tree height, right? So basically what we need to do is we need to make a ground on the golf course, but the constraint is that we need to cut all the we need to cut all the trees in such a way that the lowest tree is cut, the tree with the lowest height is cut first, right? The tree with the lowest height first, and then this basically 2, then 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the order in which the tree should be cut, right? So the thing is, after the cutting the tree, original place has the tree value and becomes grass, which is value 1, right? So basically the thing is that you start with 0.00, you start from 0.00. You should output the minimum number of steps you need to walk to cut off all the trees, right? And if you cannot cut the trees in some situations because of these obstacles, the obstacles are placed in such a way that you cannot cut the tree, so you cannot reach to that point from the origin. What will happen is that we just output -1 in that situation, right? And basically it's guaranteed there are no trees having the same height, and there is at least one tree needs to be cut off, right? So that is a very simple challenge. So this example is 1 2 3 4. This is the order we're gonna take. In this tree, because there are obstacles in the middle, you start from here, but then you will not be able to go down. So it's minus, and it's not possible to cut the tree. In this case, you start with here, but you start, but you can cut off the tree zero directly without walking, right? Because you're hey, you can cut the tree. So this is like 0 steps taken, and then you walk all the way here. So there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 steps total taken, right? So if you given any matrix, and it doesn't mean like it doesn't have to be that there are like n numbers. Whatever numbers there are positive numbers greater than 0 here, and we just need to find out the order in which we cut the trees, right? So uh, as always, what we do is we just put the boundary conditions. So basically, if forest dot size is 0, right? If this is equal to 0, or let's say the first the there are no trees, like the condition says that if that is not possible, but still, for sanity it's always a good habit to check for errors. So we just say we return 0, right? That this nothing which you can do, right? To nothing you can do here, right? You just state the origin, there are no steps to be taken, right? Yeah. So well, now when this is sorted, what we now want to do is we now want to make sure so basically what is the approach we take to this problem. So the approach we have in this problem is as follows. So the approach in this problem is as follows. The first thing we do would be let me have a comment section here. Yeah. So the first thing we have to do is we have to first understand the order in which we need to cut the trees, right? So we need to order the trees by tree height. That's the first thing you need to do. Then it is a very simple, it's a grid problem in which we're doing grid maneuverage. So what happens is we know where we are. So basically, say you cut tree 5, so you are at position 5, and when we have started the list, we also know what is the next tree we want to search. So we also know the position of the next tree. So it's just a BFS problem in which what is the shortest path to reach from that tree to the other tree, right? So do a right. So as I told you, that lead code hard problems don't are not supposed to be that crazy. They're not supposed to be that hard. So there is still a tag hard here, but this is not a super hard problem in any way. It's just you need to understand the basic mechanics of it, and then you are right. So let's have we just uh, we just have int m is equal to the forest dot size, right, which is not zero. Int n is equal to forest of zero dot size. So basically we just say that forest is array of mn, which means that, right, this is what forest is. Now we need to first of all do the first step, which is like you need to order the trees by tree height. So we have this vector of vector, so called trees. So what this thing does is it will store the trees in order, so such that it stores all the trees in size, such that the positions of the trees are also stored. So let's look at what it does. So if this is 0, we greater than m, then just increment I. If for j is equal to 0, j greater than m, n, increment j. Now for we need to check that if there is, it's not an obstacle, right? So if we encounter a forest, so if we encounter the forest, if we encounter the forest is equal to 1, we don't need to write is equal to 1. If we encounter a forest, then what we do is we just call trees dot pushback. Now this is you need to push back a vector because trees is the vector of vector. So we just push back a forest of ij and also the position I comma j, right? So this is like we just pushing a vector back. So the most important why we're doing this and why in this format would be, we just want to sort this vector of vector trees in such a way that all the trees, like the smaller trees, are in the beginning with their positions and the larger trees are at the end in the position. And C++ has this inbuilt function sort. The STL library has this inbuilt function sort, and it takes in optional variable called bool. It's a boolean variable, which is the compare variable, which compares two elements in the array. But by default, when we have a vector of vector, when we have it by default compares it by the first element. So we want it to be compared by the first element, and we don't mind what the rest is. We just want to compare this vector with the first element. So after this is done, we just say sort, right? And trees dot begin, right, and trees dot end. We would not need to do anything fancy here, right? We not have to do basically have a custom comparator function or do anything fancy. Whatever we have the sorted tree, because this by default it just sorts by the first element of the vector, right? That's what we need to do. Now when this is done, we we have a variable answer, which is the answer. We initialize to 0 because we 0. Now what we need to do is we need to basically compute steps, right? So what do we need to compute? We need to compute the steps taken. So for that, we go to iterate through each and every tree in this sorted list. So in this sorted list, you take the first tree and then try to find a distance to the second one. Then we go to the second one, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth, and whatever distance is the number of steps taken in between. We just that we just sum that up in this variable answer and then return that, right? So for int I is equal to 0, I is trees dot size, right? um, I plus plus. Okay, we also want to have variables like, let's have other variables called int current column, int current row, which is equal to 0, current column, which is equal to 0. Simply just that we are able to keep track of these things, right? So let's increase the size of this so this is more visible, right? So these are all is like helpful, useful variables which will be used to keep track of things. So this is, we start with 0. Now for we want to say that answer plus equals, we want to define a function shortest, you know shortest dist or number of steps taken it takes in this vector forests. It takes in this vector forest. It takes in the current, you know, current row. It takes in the current column. So this is like the start rows and start from where we start from, and then where do we want to go? We would want to go to the first element in the list. So that will be stored in the list. So we just say trees dot I, whatever the trees we are, the first element, which is the ith element, and trees the of I of the second element, right? So these are the from nodes, and these are the to nodes, right? Once this is done, what we do is we simply update the current row. So basically current row will then becomes, because now after this we have reached where we have to reach. So the current row mhm. Okay, we'll also need to put a condition check here. So we'll not directly you know increment the answer. What we'll do is we have to put a condition check that if the shorter distance, if we are not able to reach, then the entire graph is not possible, right? So to do that, what we do is we simply, instead of just doing this, we have like int steps, or like in step, whatever you want to call, we will want to have the shortest distance function here, right? Yeah, cut here, we just paste the shortest distance here, and with this I know it's bad indentation, but it's good for the sanity. If step equals 0, then like -1, then this function totally returns -1. The entire function then returns -1, right? So that is one thing. The second thing would be that if that is not the case, then we just increment the answer by the step. Right now, the current row, we have to update the current row. The current row will become the where we wanted to reach. Basically, we have reached there. This means, so it becomes the trees of the first node, and the current column would become these this thing, right? And once we then in the next loop, we'll have another tree, we'll have another tree and another tree. After everything is over, we have the answer, which will have all the steps, right? So don't forget the semicolons. So this is the entire logic. Now what we need to do is we need to define the shortest list function. That's the most important function, which will help us come to the answer. So so what will the shortest list return? It will return an int. So it's int shortest list. It takes in this vector forest, right? We don't need to, I'm very sorry, we don't need to have we don't need to have the definition here. So just take in the forest. It just I was like pretty crazy, why do I have the definition here? So just takes in the forest, current row, current row. So basically what it takes is the start row, start column, end row, end column, right? And it will also, it's what we would want is, we would want whether yeah, from the current start row and the start column, whether it is possible to reach the end row and the end column, and how many steps does it take to reach, right? So this is an easy this is it sorry this is an int, this is an int, this is an int, and this is an int as well, right? Yes. So all of these are integers. This is a vector of vector. Now it's simple that if we are already where we want to reach, if is end row and end row, like not end row, end call, like start column is equal to end column, then we just return 0. That we don't need to take any other steps to do anything fancy. But what if not? If not, then what we need to do is we need to do the BFS. So as usual in the BFS, what we do is we have a queue. So let's define a queue. So how will we do the BFS here? So the BFS would be simple. BFS will have a queue of QUE, QUE, UE, Q of pair of int Q, right? So this is the, let's also have a variable called step is initialized to 0 in the beginning. right? So this will be the actual answer we care about. We also need to store whether we have visited or not visited, and to see whether we have visited or not visited, the best way of doing that would be to store it in a set. So if if the element is a set or not, but the thing is that you cannot have a set of pair intent. You cannot have a set with, that is the gimmick with C++. So you cannot have sets with int. You cannot have a set with pair which is indexed by pair. For that you need the boosting library, the boost library, which is not supported in competitive coding. So instead of that, we'll actually go the more memory heavy route, and we'll store the we'll have to store the entire forest. So we'll have to store the entire structure of the graph. So it'll be n square. So we just have a simple array vector of we'll also need to you know have these things, because we need to estimate the size of the forest. So let's also have the size of the forest. Now when we have the size of the forest, we also need to have this visited. Now the visited is nothing but a vector of int, right, which is visited, and this visited is a vector of size m of vector of int of size n initialized with 0, right? So this is the vector visited. All well and all good. Now what we need to do, we need to first push the q dot push make pair. What do we need to push? We need to push the start row and start column, or we can also, let's say, push it them as, instead of the make pair you can also have the curly braces. So this is, I think, C++ 14 syntax, srsc. So these, so srsc, see the source row and the source column, we just push them. And we also initialize the let me have some space so that I can show. We also would want to initialize the visited array. So basically visited of source see would be 1. So we have visited there, right? So we will generally do this while queue is not empty, right? You can do this with priority queues. You can do this in multiple ways possible. Increase the steps, have a variable called queue size, have the size of the queue, right? So we have the size of the queue. Once you have the size of the queue, what we need to do is we need to take a for loop, for int k is equal to 0 to k greater than queue size k plus plus. So basically we are iterating through all the elements in the queue and making sure that we process each and every element. Now and on each and every step, what we need to do is we need to see whether we are where we want to be. So what we do is we want to know where we actually are. So the right approach to this would be to pop the elements. So we have this variable called row. Before popping, we know what is on the top of the queue, so we just do q dot front of, we know there is it's a pair of first, right? So that will be the first element, and int column would be the q dot first of q dot front of second, right? This will be the row and this will be the column. Easy, right? Now we would want to check all the possibilities of adding rows, adding all those. We also want to first pop the, without forgetting the pop the element which we processed. Now we want to check all the possibilities. We want to go in all the directions. So we have this vector of int direction. So there's this neat trick which someone can use, and that trick would be to have you know 0 1 0. The thing would be, you have to make two different directions for x and y, but what we can do is we can just augment a -1 here and just use it as a cyclic list. I'll show you how. So this is the direction. So for all of these things, for int I know I have used I multiple times in this entire thing. 4, so all the 4 directions, because we can go from top, bottom, left and right, all the 4 directions, increment I. What we want to do is we want to say that int r is equal to row plus dir I, and c is equal to, so int is already there, call plus dir I plus 1. So this will be nothing but the up down bottom minus on all the directions, and this will the I plus 1 will actually handle the cyclical case, right? Yes. So we both the variables done. Now we want to see whether the corner cases, like we want to see the corner cases whether these are not in the corner cases. So if somehow r gets to 0, or if r gets greater than or equal to m, which is the maximum size, or c gets smaller than 0, or c gets larger than the maximum size, which is n in that direction, or we have already, or the forest is basically forest of r and c is like basically there's an obstacle there, right? So if there's an obstacle there, or if we have already visited, so if there's an obstacle there, this would be 0. So a negation of this would be that there is an obstacle there, right? Or for simplicity we can also do, and if, or if you have visited this thing, so we have viz of r c, right? If we have visited this, if any of these things is true, then we just want to continue, right? We're not interested in this case, right? So we continue, and if not, right, if not, then we want to push them in the queue. We want to push them in the queue, and we might want to first check whether they are what we need. So if, let's say, you know r is equal to end column, and end row, sorry, and not end column, end row. And if c is equal to end column, if any of this is true, then what we would want to do is we would want to return the step, right? We would want to return the step. If not, then we'll want to just push this and continue, right? So we just do push q dot push of r and c. We just pushed rc, and we also made sure that we mark them as visited, right? Is equal to what? So we pushed rc and we marked them as visited, and we are pretty much done here. Yes, and if nothing happens, if this entire loop and everything fails, what we do is we return -1, right? If there is nothing that returns from this, we finally return -1, which is like there was no route to be found, right? So this is the this of course might have bugs, but this is the basic implementation of what we would want. Let's run this code. Yeah, so what is the error? Okay, yeah, we already have an int there, so we don't need to define these ints. Okay, why is this lambda capturing the list? Is this okay? Shifted. Cool. This was a very silly mistake here that I just made a different list. Let's submit this code and see whether it gets accepted. Hopefully it does. If there is a test case which fails, then we can handle that. Uh, Hopefully there is no time limit exceeded, because it seems to be that oh, there is a time limit exceeded, right? So we'll have to figure out why there is a time limit exceeded. So because we did not look at a corner case, or we did not think of a corner case, right? Cool. So yes, so let's have a look, and let's actually debug where we made the mistake. So basically, I actually debugged this myself. I tried to do this for some time, so actually wondering what was the error, because we're doing everything perfect. We are doing a BFS. We are we are actually, this is the most optimum of doing this. BFS is the best of doing this. We ordering with tree height. We are having, having vectors. We're pushing. There is nothing which we can do to optimize this code even further. I mean, there is another algorithm. Basically, if we are wrong at the algorithm level, we can think about doing this at the A star, at the by doing this with the A star algorithm, which is the A star pathfinding algorithm, which is like better than BFS in trying to find out the path, but that is a much more complex approach. But then there's this, small insight which I got, that I mean, this might be a very very small speed up issue. I also read it in the discussion that there is an issue with this program. So basically, what I was doing wrong was I was clearly declaring this all the time. What I had to do is I had to just do it here, right? And now when I run this, it's gonna go run normal, right? No issues. But now when I'm gonna submit this, it would be accepted, right? So this is something you need to see, that it's a very small mistake. Like, look at this, like, -10. This is a very very small thing that I was reinitializing this array all the time. We also reinitialize all of these variables all the time. But these are the small things in comparative coding which actually, make you crawl. We're better than, faster than 10%. The point is that this just adding, by pushing this line further, by not actually reiterating and re doing these lines multiple times, we are able to save so much time that, I mean, we are doing much better. The entire algorithm, the entire logic, everything is the same. Just the thing that changed was this, uh, just one line, right? So that is the lesson for today. That, computer recording, the very very small things, very very small details matter. Ordered the when the problem is concerned, we ordered the tree by the tree height. We did VFS to the other tree, and we just added up the number of, the shortest path there, and that was our answer, right? So thank you so much. Let's tune in for the next question, right? So this is a good question, right? Awesome, right?